When we think about Amazon, we tend to think as Amazon as an e-commerce company. Most of people will answer if you ask them what Amazon is about, they will say e-commerce because that's what they use. But the biggest part of Amazon right now, they make over 50% of their profits from it, is technology. Amazon is a tech company. That's one of the reasons why it's always mentioned next to Facebook, Google, and Apple, and Microsoft. But there's another sector. There's another sector they're getting in, and it's gonna be big. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, who by the way was the manager of AWS before Jeff Bezos stepped out, said that this is gonna be the next big Amazon move, and the next big move of the whole tech industry, and it is healthcare. They're getting into healthcare. Let's think about this, guys, because in 2020, I didn't know this. I just read an article about this on the Financial Times. And in 2020, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Facebook combined spent $3.7 billion on healthcare. I mean, who knew this? I didn't know they were on healthcare. Yeah, it wasn't the news. I remember that in October 2020, last year, Amazon launched its own pharmacy, Amazon Pharmacy. Well, where then they started selling drugs and medicines, not that kind of drugs, online, with the prescription of a doctor, of course. The adventure of Amazon in the healthcare sector started actually in 2018, when they launched this venture with JP Morgan and Berkshire Hathaway, the company founded by Warren Buffett. And it was a venture that has the goal of managing the healthcare of their own employees. The venture actually did some progress, they said, but it failed, and at the beginning, it was closed at the beginning of 2021. January of this year. But it showed a big thing, that these big companies want to take care of the healthcare of their own employees, because, and take this into consideration, this is a very important data. In 2020, 85% of the United States employers, American employers, 85% of them has declared that this trend of increasing costs in healthcare for their employees continues. They're not going to be able to provide the healthcare for their employees in 5 to 10 years from now. So what's the problem? We have to reduce costs. And if you follow this channel, you know this very well. Subscribe, guys, to discover it, to know this better. When costs rise, the demand for innovation rises, and innovation comes and disrupts everything. Innovation is coming also here. Healthcare is not a sector that has been disrupted yet. I mean, Johnson & Johnson is still doing very good, and it's quite a conservative company. I mean, it's been there since before the 20th century. It was I think it was founded in the 1880s. Another thing that surprised me was that there was an interview with a surgeon, that said that they used the Alexa device as an assistant during surgery operations. That surprised me. So they're going to face a lot of competition, all the tech companies that are getting to the healthcare sector. But, a lot of analysts are saying that maybe they're not going to make it. The fact is, for trust issues. Because, if people have their pharmacy next to their house, where they should buy medicines online on a website. Well, that's what everybody would have said about e-commerce 20 years ago, right? That's what everybody said about Facebook, that nobody would have ever put their photos on it because they would trust the internet. Maybe they're going to use your photos to do bad things. Right now, everyone buys stuff not on the retail stores, but on Amazon, and they put a lot of photos and videos of their families and their loved ones on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere. So it's gonna be interesting to follow this race and to see if there's gonna be another big disruption. See you guys.